Hello to everyone and welcome to the online FM certification training course. We took all the courses, all of the slides from all of the trainings we've been given in person and try to make them into a shortened version online for people that can't make it to those on-site trainings. My name is Sam Cunningham and I'm the CCA for Mciwest region, and Lauren Keynes is the alternate CCA. And we're going to walk through all of the steps that are required for you to kind of get yourself situated for the FM training and to submit for certification to Mciwest. Some basic assumptions that we have for you in given this course is that we assume that everyone that's viewing is an FM certification candidate, and that you have gotten a letter to that effect, either by mail or email, that you have access to LMS, and that you have a username and a PIN to record learning in LMS. If you don't have your PIN, just let us know, and we can get it reset for you. The objectives of the training: we want to give you an overview of the Mciwest SharePoint site, and give you an overview of FMONLINE, MYLEARN, and of course the learning management system, LMS, where you record your learning. We hope to give you an understanding of the steps required to be certified by giving you some basic knowledge on what a learning worksheet is, academic and leadership matrices, and the scorecard, and how to choose your primary and alternate tracks, record learning, learn how to take courses in LMS, and of course understand the requirements to submit to Mciwest for approval. So let's get started. For most of you, you have gotten an email with a link to the Mciwest FM certification site. And this site is trying to be kind of all-inclusive with it. In the center of the page of the site, you have the steps, all the steps that are required for you to get certified. If you take a look in step number 1, it kind of has all the documentation needed for you to start your certification. It has the blank learning worksheets. It has some learning worksheets for all the different levels that are pre-populated. And then to the right are all the slides that you're seeing now are all located to the right over here. For those of you that are candidates or POCs for the FM certification, there is a link down at the bottom that allows you to click on your installation, and you see all of the users, all the candidates for FM certification in that link. Also, right below that, for everyone, it's going to be either submitting to your POCs or submitting for certification yourself. There's a click here to submit an issue or request for certification. If you have problems with anything, need something removed from your scorecard, your supervisor's wrong, those type of things, you're going to click on here and submit an issue ticket to Mciwest. Or when you're ready to submit for certification, you'll submit right there also with your package. And then below that, Stay Certified kind of gives you some steps, gives you directions to the how-to record your CETs once you are certified. To the right over here, you have the 3 links to LMS, FMONLINE, and MYLEARN. And then to the above that, you have a message board for you to post general questions that might be of interest to all that are taking that might have a question about FM certification that you're posing. And then right above that is our list of POCs. A little bit closer view of the discussion, clicking on the discussion for the general questions. Just you click on add a new discussion, or you can join a discussion by clicking on it and making your own comments. And then this is a closer view of the installation candidate listing. When you click on one of the installations, it has the name, the certification level, supervisor name of all the employees, along with a percentage complete here that can be changed as your employees move along. we're going to have to post some percentages to MCI.com in the very near future, tracking where we are, and we will use this percentage to do that. And then the issue tracker, just clicking on the issue tracker, you'll add a new issue here, and then fill out the short form here describing what the issue is, choosing REA FM CERT as your as the attention to, and then the category, general question, request for certification, those types of things. We are asking for some information at the end of this that will help you get certified quicker. So please, if you have any questions or anything, any issues regarding FM certification, we can't manage it through email, so please use the tracker. And then this is the quick links to the LMS system, FMONLINE, and FMYLEARN. A quick description on what the different major links and sites are for the FM certification. FMONLINE is just a central repository of everything that deals with FM community, and it also has the link to FMYLEARN and FMLMS in it. So when you click on this, it's kind of a one-stop shop for everything that is related to FM, any news that's going on in the community. And then FMYLEARN. FMYLEARN is kind of going to be where you start your journey, determining whether or not a class has been mapped, and if it has been mapped, which competency has been mapped to. You'll do that and search for courses right here in FMYLEARN. When you click on the course search for FMYLEARN, there's several different ways that you can search. There's going to be links to the left over here that allow you to search by your particular competency level, by a particular competency, and also by delivery method. So if you wanted to do web-based training. So you'll search for your courses that you've already taken here and see what has been mapped. And you'll also search for new courses that you want to take to fill vacancies that you have in your learning worksheet. When you actually click on the course, you notice over here it'll bring up the course name, and then it'll actually show you which aligned competencies that you have for that particular course. And then of course there's LMS, and LMS is where you're going to do all your recording of learning. For those of you that have been in LMS, you know that this is the main page over here. From this main page, you can do things like access your scorecard, which you see over here, which kind of tells you where you, what you have to do and where you are so far. Everything related to your status you'll be finding in the learning management system. And the last part, step number 2 here, we're going to talk about the learning worksheets, your academic leadership matrices, and compiling your data. Our recommendation is that you start this process by compiling all of your certificates from all the training that you've taken and college transcripts and those types of things. Get those together. And then go ahead and download a learning worksheet and the leadership and academic matrices. That's going to be your start. This is just a quick glossary in terms of what it is that all the terms that you might hear. I am the CCA for Mciwest, which means that I'll be the one that is reviewing and submitting your completed packages once I've approved them onto OSD for certification. The CA, our component authority, Robin Blair at Headquarters Marine Corps, makes major changes if we have to have something changed with your account. And then of course all the other things we've already talked about, the different systems, the learning worksheet, which is your roadmap, your package which you'll submit to us, which we'll talk about later, and then the academic and leadership matrices. Your learning worksheets for level 1, you will have FM, financial management systems, decision support, fundamentals of operations of a primary track that you choose, the lead self competency, and then you have 12 DoD FM 101 courses that are required. There are 6 courses that are required courses, and then there are 6 other courses that can be waived. You'll also have to have 2 years of DoD FM experience. With level 2, a lot of the same types of things. You'll have a difference in the number of years that you have to have for certification, and you'll also be choosing a primary and an alternate track in level 2. In level 2, you'll see or in the competencies, for example, budget formulation, justification, or budget execution. And then for level 3, you won't have a primary track, you'll have just an alternate track, and because you will have and in your competencies, for example, accounting analysis and financial management analysis. And then there are the academic matrices, and academic matrices allow you to use college courses to align to a specific competency. 3 semester hours, for example, will equal 45 course hours for one of the competencies that you want to choose. So for example, if you were trying to use accounting, you would have to use, for level 1 for example, you'd have to have a level 200 or a level 100 course that has accounting in the title for you to fulfill that competency. And then with the leadership competency, it's the same principle as the academic competency, only there are different ones for different levels. Level 1 is lead self, level 2 is lead teams and projects, and level 3 is lead people. And you look for the specific type of name in your transcripts when you're looking at them. But don't arbitrarily believe that because it doesn't have leadership in the title that it doesn't apply. For example, in competency in level 1, lead self, introduction to computers and computing counts as a lead self course. So take a look at all of the sample course titles for your particular level to make sure that you're not overlooking something. And like I said, you're going to compile all your transcripts, certificates, and other support, and you're going to get the academic and leadership matrices out, and then you're going to start taking a look at your courses to determine whether or not there is a course that you have taken that seems like it could meet one of the competencies. Then you're going to go into the FMONLINE, and you're going to actually search for that course. The non-academic course, you're going to search for those courses in FMONLINE, and if the course comes up, you're going to see how many hours are aligned to different competencies. And once you fill out the worksheet with all of the course certificates that you have, then you have a picture of what you have left to do. And again, then you're going to take and use FMONLINE to go ahead and search for courses by those filters, which would be web-based courses, by your particular competency, and then by the how you want to take the class. So you want to take a web-based class, you search for it that way. That concludes step 0 through 2. Just getting you started, getting you oriented to the different sites, and getting you oriented to what you need to start your journey, the things that you need to compile. We'll now cover steps 3 and 4, building your plan and finding courses in FMONLINE. As we talked about in previous steps, we're going to assume that we are on level 1 and we haven't completed any courses with the exception of the Enhanced Defense Financial Management course and one academic course. So we're going to go to FMONLINE from the Mciwest link. And so here is our learning history worksheet. There's 46 hours total that we have split between the different competencies. We're going to go ahead and take those mandatory courses in the DoD 101, and we're going to waive all the other courses. And we have had one course, that is Enhanced Defense Financial Management course, and one academic course, which is a Accounting 1 college level course at the 200 level. When we go into FMONLINE, it's going to bring up the course search catalog. We're going to look for that one Enhanced Defense course first. And when you type in just a part of the name, it's going to bring up any course that falls in that criteria. Remember, there are 4 tabs here. You have to search all the tabs to find your course. This happens to be a DoD commercial course. So when you click on the commercial tab, we'll notice that the Enhanced Defense Financial Management course comes up. If we go ahead and click on the course itself, it brings up the course information sheet, which is what you will be using and submitting along with your package to your region. And for competency level 1, we see that it has 5 hours aligned to decision support and 3 hours aligned to fundamental operations and budget. So we only had the one course, we have a certificate for it, so we are done with our non-academic courses. We go back to our worksheet and we find the decision support, and we go ahead and put the hours in there, and we put the hours in for financial management systems.
This is a short overview of the 3 different systems. We're going to start with FMONLINE. FMONLINE found at https://fmonline.osdc.osd.mil. So the FMONLINE is the central repository for everything FM certification related, everything FM related actually. There's some newsletters on here. They tell you about all the new things coming up as far as courses and things go. Any guidance related to from CERT, you're going to find at this central repository. You're also going to find the links to FMYLEARN and to FMLMS. So we're going to go to FMYLEARN by clicking on the box, and when you come up to FMYLEARN, I was already logged into it, but it's actually CAC enabled as well. FMYLEARN gives you an opportunity to search for courses. And we talked about previously, this is where you want to start once you've compiled all your information from the certificates and from your transcripts. You're going to search these courses to find both the courses that you've already taken, non-academic courses that you've already taken through government or commercial that you think that aligns to it, to find out what the hours are. And you're also going to search for classes to fill the gaps in your worksheet. So we're going to click on the search classes now. When you go to search classes now, it brings up this search box that allows you to type in a course name. So we're going to type in the keyword Enhanced Defense, and that's all we're going to type. And we're going to hit submit. And when we do that, you notice if I clicked on the current active tab here, active DoD, there's 4 different tabs: current active DoD, inactive DoD, federal, non-DOD, active and inactive, and then commercial. If I clicked on the current active tab, you notice that it doesn't show up. It shows my keyword as enhanced defense, but it doesn't show up down here. It's because it's a commercial course, and then when I click on the commercial, it's actually going to bring it up here. And then if I click on the link, it's actually going to bring up the course. So it brings up the course and it tells you the different competencies that this course is aligned to. And this sheet is what you would do a screenshot of to provide when you submit it to Mciwest. So this is for a course, and we're going to assume that this is a course that we already took, and we're just trying to find out what it aligns to. If we're actually looking for a course to fulfill a certain gap in our worksheet, we can do it by clearing our filters, making sure it's all clear. And then over here on the left, we're going to choose 3 different filters. The first one is we want to do these courses online. So we're going to do delivery method, web-based training, and then we're going to do FM level of whatever it is we're trying to fill the gap for. Here we'll assume we'll do decision support. And then finally, we're going to choose our competency, our proficiency level, and we're going to say level 1. So now you'll notice that all of the criteria are all shown here: web-based training, decision support, and level 1. So all of these courses are courses that meet the criteria under the commercial tab, but we're going to go under current active DoD. So in the current active DoD, here are all the classes that fit that criteria. So if I click on one of the courses, again, it's going to show me how many hours align to that. So for this particular class, for level 1, I get 4 hours of decision support, and I also get 20 hours of lead self. So this is a good course to take. It's 24 hours long, and it tells you who the target audience is, and also tells you what prerequisites that you'd have to have, those types of things. So as you look through these, you'll be able to fill up your gap for your courses. And that is the extent of the FMONLINE. The other site that we're going to cover is FMLMS, and from FMONLINE you click the LMS link and then you click login here. And when your main page comes up, go ahead and hit continue, and this is the main LMS learning plan page. There are other videos that are going to describe how to go into the different reports and how to do the actual recording and learning. What I'm going to cover is how we're going to search for classes that are LMS classes. So up here in near your search catalog, choose browse, and when you go to browse button, it'll bring you up this catalog search. You type in something in the search box. In this case, I typed in accounting. By typing in accounting, it brought up all of the courses that show up in LMS, which includes the one in FMYLEARN. But if you go down to one of the courses down here, when it has a start course, that lets you know that you can take the course in LMS and it's going to record everything for you. This is DoD Accounting Analysis Fundamentals. If I did that, it would show up as completed online, and there would be nothing to upload if I did that. That's the simplest way to go through and get all 3 steps of the 3-step process done and get your courses complete.
The next thing we want to take a look at is our academic courses. So we have one college course, the Principles of Accounting course, that we want to use for the fundamentals of and operations of accounting. We have
3 hours already aligned with the EDFM class. So now we're going to go to Academic Matrix to see the number of hours we can get with our college course. So you'll need a copy of the transcripts with this, and on here, see our transcripts say Principle of Accounting 1. So our Principle of Accounting 1, a level 200 class, is aligned to the accounting lower division here. And you see on the academic matrix that the sample course title allows for Principles Accounting. That means that there's 45 hours because this is a 3 semester hour class. If we go back to our learning history worksheet, we plug in 45 hours and we put in the college, the date the course completed, and the title. So looking at our worksheet now, the EDFM has satisfied the 5 hours for decision support, and the college class along with the EDFM class satisfied the 5 hours required here for the Fundamentals and Operations course. So we are done with decision support and with the Fundamentals of Operations pending approval. So now all we have left is the Financial Management Systems, Lead Self, the DoD-FM course, and then our letter for experience. So now our worksheet has a lot of gaps. We have gone through and looked at all of our certificates and transcripts, and now we need to search for courses that satisfy the rest of this. So in this example, we're going to search for a course that can satisfy some, if not all, of the hours for financial management systems. So we go back to MYLEARN and click on the course search. And like we talked about before, now you can filter out in the search block, and we can go find a course that is web-based for level 1 and the competency being financial management systems. And when we do that, we see that these courses come up. If we click on the course, it'll show us the exact number of hours for that. So what you can do from this point is you can screenshot that if you want to take this course so that you can use it for your package when you submit. And you can also go ahead and plug that course into your learning worksheet as what you plan on doing. Once you've done all those courses, or once you've gone through and figured out all the courses you're going to give for all the competencies, go ahead and complete it, and you're all set, ready to start taking courses or applying for the courses. One other tool that we use, or that you can use to satisfy the search for some courses, is a Air Force database where they've gone and they've taken all the MAP classes in LMS after MyLearn and put it in an Access database. We provided you a copy here on the FM Cert site that you can download. When you download it and you open it, you'll notice that there's a main switchboard there that has level 1 through 3 on it. Click on your applicable level. When you do, you can go ahead and choose a primary track up here, and when you do that, you're going to see some little binoculars next to the competencies. When you click on that, this sheet comes up that shows you all the courses that are mapped to that competency with the credit hours here. You can use the drop-down arrow next to delivery method to do something that's similar to FMONLINE as far as querying out. So we'll go ahead and choose web-based courses right here. And when you do that, it goes ahead and it populates the number of hours that you would get for each of the competencies. Now granted, you will still have to go into FMONLINE, get the course description sheet, and have that as a copy for your Mciwest package, but this is just kind of a quick way to go through and determine
what classes might satisfy your competencies. The worksheet is your map, and you should be done with that by the end of this step. One other thing to mention, we have added what's called pre-populated learning worksheets for each of the levels on the Mciwest SharePoint site. The courses in the worksheets are mostly all online, and if you follow those, you'll pretty much get all the credits that you need to satisfy the training. That concludes step number 4. We'll go on to step number 5 next, which is recording learning.
We will now take the time to record our primary track. Everyone needs a primary track on their scorecard. To record your primary track, you will come here to the search window and you will click on Browse. At this next screen, once it comes up, you will come over to the left-hand side and under Categories, click Curricula. This will show all primary tracks that are available. I am a level 2, so you see level 2 classes here, but you should see the level that is pertinent to your profile. If your primary job is accounting, then you probably will be picking the concepts, principles, and policies of accounting track. However, you will see if you scroll down, there are auditing tracks, budget tracks, commercial pay tracks. Depending on your level, there will be several different tracks to choose from. Again, I am a level 2, so you may not see some of the tracks listed here under your profile. Once you decide what track you would like to pick, hover over that area and self-assigned curriculum will appear. Click on self-assigned curriculum. I already have a primary track, so I can't click here, but you will select self-assigned curriculum. We will now go back to home. Now, to ensure that you did select your primary track properly, we will go look at our scorecard. You will also want to look at your scorecard as often as possible to understand what your status is, what classes you have taken, what's been approved by your supervisor, what your point totals are, and what classes you need to take to complete your certification. Again, under Easy Links, we will come to Reports link. Under the Reports link, Curricula Status, you'll come to the last link which says FM01 Uniform Certification Scorecard and select. At this window, if you want to leave it in your browser, then you can just click Run Report, or you can decide to download it to a local file. I recommend you leave browser. You can also pick that it be a HTML or a PDF. I continue to recommend HTML. Once this screen opens, we recommend that you just hit Run Report and not change any settings. This may take several minutes, depending on your system, depending on the time of day. So just be patient and allow it to generate the report. As the report is generating, you can click back to home and do other things. Now you will see on my scorecard all of the classes that I have actually taken. But more importantly, if you assigned your primary track properly, this section here will no longer be blank. If you did not assign it properly, you will not see this FM competency concepts, policies, and principles of accounting. You will just see a blank under here with these last two items, achievement documentation and achievement listed. It is also recommended that you go to File and do a Save As and save this HTML onto your hard drive with today's date. That way you'll have a current copy of your scorecard and where you sit as of today. Anytime you take a training, it is recommended that you come back to your scorecard and get a copy of it that day, so that again you have a running copy of what you need to do, what classes you need to take. This is a separate window from your LMS home window, so you can just hit X to close. Go back to home. We have now shown you how to log in to LMS, how to retrieve your user ID by using your name link in the upper right hand corner. We have showed you how to assign your primary track and how to pull your scorecard and verify not only your primary track, but any other training that you have already completed in the LMS system. Today we will be learning how to log into LMS and retrieve your scorecard. We will discuss a couple of do's and don'ts for the scorecard and return back to our home page. From time to time through these video lessons, please ensure you look toward the bottom of the screen for any notes, or be aware of any notes or captions that may show up. The website link will be at the bottom of this screen in a caption for about the first 20 or 25 seconds of this video, as well as any other notes throughout the video, which would be added later. Okay, so to get started, and most of you have already logged in, but if this is your first time logging in, the first thing that will happen when you come here is, upon clicking here, because this is how you log in, this screen over here is not for logging in purposes. You will log in by clicking here. Upon clicking here, the first time it will ask you to set up a PIN. Your PIN can be the same as your CAC PIN. Just saying. If you do forget your PIN later, and we'll discuss in a later class when you need that CAC PIN for submitting your transcripts or certificates to your supervisor, if you forget your PIN, please email me and I can reset your PIN at any time. So please feel free to call or email me if that occurs. So let's click here to get logged in. Okay, upon logging in, again, if this is your first time or you've never turned off this screen, this is nothing more than a nice to know screen prompt letting you know some of the features that are available within LMS. You can click the checkbox here to turn it off permanently, or I just click continue. Haven't decided to turn it off yet. Now, once we are here, I want to bring your attention to the easy links. We will be going to reports for today's lesson, which is on how to retrieve your scorecard. Click reports. Once the report screen comes up, you're looking for the bottom link under curriculum status. Curriculum status should already be open. Several links listed, and you're going to pick the bottom link right here, which ends with the word scorecard. Upon clicking, you will come to this screen. There's several drop downs, or a couple drop downs. You can either open this in your browser or you can open it into a local file. I suggest that you just leave the settings as they pop up and simply click Run Report. As you saw under format, you can run it as an HTML, which is a website, or as a PDF. I suggest you just leave it as HTML and click Run. Now this, depending on the time of day, depending on your network speed, could take several minutes. So generally I wait until I see generating report. Once I see generating report, then I go ahead and I can click away and do some other things on some other websites, or go back and do other training. Once your scorecard comes up, there's a couple of things that you should ensure are correct. This is your student ID. You received your student ID in an email welcoming you to the LMS, or welcoming you to the Financial Management Certification Program. This ID is needed to submit any transcripts or certificates that were done outside of LMS to your supervisor. So always remember, you can get it from here. I'll show you another area you can get it from. If you click back to your LMS screen, you'll see your name is in the upper right hand corner. You can also get it by clicking there, but that is not this class. We'll look at that at another time. So I just clicked back to the web page that has my scorecard on it. Couple of do's and don'ts. First of all, if you have not picked a primary track, well, one of the do's is we'll need to pick a primary track. That will not be done in this class, but there will be a video to show how to click that primary track. If this area is blank, we will have that class shortly. A don't is for FM documentation achievements, you can only have one file. You should not have two files for your achievement documentation. It should look just like this. Should have any courses that you have submitted. It should have one file as an attachment for achievement documentation, and all three of these courses certificates should be within this one attachment. And then you should have your achievement, and my achievement just hasn't been validated by my supervisor yet, but you would then have your achievement here validated by your supervisor for each one of these requirements that you have submitted. And you can see that here where I have an achievement and it has been approved. So ensure that you do one attachment. I will show you how to do that in, again, another video, not this one. Having this allows you, having your scorecard allows you now to come in and see what your needs are. I can see under FM systems, I still need one more credit hour. I can see under decision support, I have all the credit hours I need. So this will allow you to then target your search for different training. So my suggestion also is that you print a copy, as well as download a copy. You can do either. I suggest you do both. I also suggest that when you print or download, if you keep it in HTML, that you ensure that the background colors will print. To do that, you go to File, come down to Page Setup, and then you'll see a checkbox for Print Background Colors and Images. If it is unchecked, check it. Again, this is just a suggestion. This particular report will not print the background colors. Therefore, you'll end up with a white sheet with all of your information on it. And sometimes it's a little hard to tell when you go from one competency to another, or it gets a little confusing, a little busy on the paper. So the colors, I feel, are a good way to see the difference between the different competencies. And at this point, I would print this out, or I would save it. If you have Adobe Pro, you're actually able to save it to a PDF. But again, I would print this out or save it. Now, this is a pop-up window for your scorecard. So at this time, you can actually go ahead and either close your scorecard, or if you're doing other training or recording training, you could leave your scorecard open so that you can cut and paste the different items that you are looking for. That way you won't have to type them in to do your searches, and you will have the exact spelling, because you will need the exact spelling for these courses to be able to find them in the LMS directory. So at this point, we would go back over to our LMS screen, click on Home, and we are now back at our home screen for LMS. That concludes this particular training over retrieving your scorecard and logging in. Today we will be learning how to record learning, or in other words, how to upload certificates and transcripts from classes taken outside of the LMS system. This is a three-step process, and again, this is what you will do when you have certificates or transcripts from colleges or from courses such as Management Concepts, Fred Pryor, or Graduate School, or the like. The three-step process will require you to record learning for all three steps. The first one will be recording the course itself. The second one will be to record the achievement documentation, at which time you will upload your transcript or your certificate. And the third one will record the achievement itself and actually use your user ID and PIN that you established when you first logged into LMS. If you don't remember your user ID and PIN, you can contact me to reset your PIN. As far as your user ID is concerned, you can either look at your scorecard, which you should have already taken that training through the video, or you can come to the upper right hand corner where it says welcome, in this case Michael Bradley, click your name, and the next screen will show you your profile. And under your profile you will see your user ID. And again, this number is what you will need, so copy it down at this time. You also will have that same user ID on your scorecard. So if you saved your scorecard or printed your scorecard, and hopefully you did both, that is another place you can find your user ID. So at this point, let's go back to home. Now, you will need that information for the third step, and again, have it handy so that when you get to the third step, you don't have to click away, because you will have to start that step over. All right, under Easy Links here on the right, you want to go to Record Learning. Select one time. We are going to use the Enhanced Financial Management, so I'm going to put in EDFM. because this training allows us to see several competencies that this program is going to give you credit for. Here you can see that there's two actual EDFMs, or one is the Defense Financial Management Program, the other is the Enhanced Defense Financial Management Training Course. We are going to be using the training course because that's the certificate I have. When you are doing this particular portion, recording the learning, make sure you type the name in exactly how it is on your certificate. This goes a long way for us to determine whether this is the actual course that you will be receiving the credit for. So let's examine what we see here for the different competencies. This particular course will give you credit for the accounting concepts, principles, and policies, the audit concept, policies, and principles, budget, and finance concepts, policies, and principles. It also will give you credit for the budget execution competency, budget formulation, justification, and presentation competency, as well as the financial management and analysis and the fundamentals of operations and budget. To gain the course hours for each of these competencies, you will have to do this particular step for each one of these competencies, all three steps. So let's go ahead and start with the accounting concepts and principles, since that is my primary track. I'm going to click the radio button and click next. Under completion status, we click on the drop down arrow, course complete, and the only thing you will change in this screen is the date. Make sure you put the date to coincide with the date on your certificate. This just helps with audit purposes. No harm nor foul if it doesn't, but make sure that your but this would be a nice audit trail for us to use. Do not change any of the hours. This is the hours that have been deemed appropriate for this particular competency through this particular course. Just put in the course completion and the course completion date. Select next. You can put a comment if there's a message you want to give to your supervisor, or you can leave it blank. Select next. We will be putting test here so that I can delete it later easily. This is a summary of what you have just done, and you can hit finish. Now, this was our recording the course. Do not put a file at this time. We just simply want to come back to home. Step 1 is to record the actual course completion itself. Step 2 will be to add a file. So at this time, we will go back to record learning under easy links. We will again put in for the documentation, we actually want to come back to either our scorecard that we saved or the printed copy of our scorecard. And we want to go to the competency that we are uploading the documentation for. And we want to highlight or type exactly what it says for that competency achievement documentation. In this case, I am going to do a cut and paste for the achievement documentation for concept principles of accounting. And at this point, we will select and hit next. Again, we are tracking the achievement documentation. You will not put anything about EDFM. You're only putting the achievement documentation in that window. Once this screen comes up, you will want to select completed from the drop down, and you again want to put the date based on the certificate that you have in hand. Do not change any of the hours. This is not about hours. This is about uploading the documentation. Select next. You can only have one attachment per competency, meaning if you have 5 certificates for 5 different courses, you still will only have one attachment that has all 5 certificates in the same PDF file. So in this case, this is the first file I'm uploading for this purpose. So I'm going to put EDFM in my comments for this particular attachment, showing me, helping me see that I only have one certificate in here for EDFM. If I had 3 certificates, then I would have EDFM, comma, Cert 2, comma, Cert 3, letting me know that I have 3 certificates in here. And Cert 2 would be the name of the second certificate, Cert 3 would be the name of the third certificate, and so on and so forth. That way, when I look at my scorecard, I can see what certificates are in that one attachment. Now, for the other attachments that you have put up previously, you will email me, because you do not have the ability to delete those attachments. You will email me letting me know that I need to delete it and giving me the information so that I can find that particular attachment and delete it. This format in your comments will also allow me to find and delete those attachments easily. So at this time, we'll go ahead and select Next. This shows us what we have just done. Select Finish. Now we want to upload our attachment. So click on File Attachment, Browse, and in this case, I'm already on the window. Now, to further go in, I will open up my Fundamentals of Operations in Budget. So I have 3 certificates for Fundamentals of Operation in Budget: EDFM, Funding Requirements, and ORF certificates, or ORF certification. However, all 3 of those are within this one file called FOB certs. That way, if I do another training for this, I will copy that certificate into FOB certs, and then when I do this particular step, I would come back and ensure that I only grab the FOB certs, which would have my 4, 5, 8 certificates loaded to the one attachment. In this case, I'm looking for EDFM. Go ahead and double click on that. In the comments here, I will put EDFM again. If I had more than one certificate in the file, I would put the other certificates as well, and then I would upload. Your file cannot be larger than 2 megabytes, so do not try and have colors and all fancy looking certificates. Just upload them as black and white certificates to help keep the file size down. At this point, you can close, and you have uploaded your attachment. Go back to Home. The third step in this process then is to go back to Record Learning. Under Record Learning this time, you need the achievement. So again, from your scorecard, if it's opened, you can go and copy the achievement statement, or from your printed copy, you can type exactly what that competency lists as the achievement and select Next. Select the radio button at this point for the achievement and select Next. As you can see, it's the exact same thing on all 3 steps. For this, you will select on the completion status of complete. You will change the date to coincide with the date on your certificate. You do not change any hours. You select Next. Put in the training that you are submitting in the comments block. That way you know which achievement you are submitting for in this particular requirement, and hit Next. Now again, you have the summary of what you are submitting, and when you hit Final this time, it's going to come up looking for your user ID, and we know we can get our user ID from our scorecard here, or we have recorded it from an earlier review of our profile. There's my user ID, there's my PIN, and again, if there's any kind of comment to my supervisor, I can put it there. I am not going to click confirm because I have already sent this to my supervisor, and I don't want to to confuse that issue. However, you can see, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and say test, please reject, and I'll try to delete it before it actually gets to her. All right, hit confirm, and now you see that it says process confirmed. I will get an email, my supervisor will get an email, and we have now done the process to upload transcripts or certificates from the different training that we have attended.
Welcome to step number 6 of the FMONLINE certification, and this is your 6th and final step. And so if you've actually got everything done and you are ready for submission, congratulations on that. Just want to walk through some of the requirements that we need completed when you submit your package. The Mciwest package will include a copy of your completed learning history worksheet that you can download from the FM cert site from LMS. The completed one has all your courses and all the aligned hours and competencies in it completed. Your final scorecard from LMS, which you can get from the reports area of LMS. And then the MYLEARN course information sheet showing the aligned hours for all non-academic courses. So if you remember from the previous slides and steps, we talked about the MYLEARN courses. If you go in there and actually search for a course and click on the course, it gives you the aligned hours for each competency. And to be sure to have a screenshot of that, that's what we're going to need for each of the courses that you're using that are not academic classes that you're using for a competency. So we'll need that along with a curriculum status page screenshot showing the completion of your applicable training, level 1, level 2, supervisor training. All of those are combined into a single PDF and submitted on the issue tracker site. So how do we do that? We go to the Mciwest region FM certification site and click here to submit an issue or request for certification. And once you do that, the window here will open. You go ahead and add a new item. When you do that, another little form will open up. You put a title on it, such as your name, request for certification, and then attention to REA, FM Cert. And then the category will be FM certification request. And just type in a short description down in the bottom and hit submit. Now we're going to discuss the supervisor's role in LMS, starting with a quick overview of the supervisor's screen in LMS. Everyone has the home tab, but the supervisors also have a My Employees tab, which allows you to view all of your employees and their curriculum, along with their proxy page, which takes you to things like your scorecard. Their learning plan down below has a list of all the employees' curriculi, and then there's approvals link that lets you access any pending reviews and approvals that are waiting for you for your employees. So that's just a simple overview of the supervisor's page with the My Employees tab. Now we're going to walk through how to approve and deny a completed certification requirement in LMS as a supervisor. From your LMS home screen, when you open it up, you'll see a little alert that says you have pending approval requests out there. When you get to that, you go ahead and click on it, and your reviews and approval will show up on the LMS screen with some radio buttons: approve, deny, or skip. So you're not going to do anything with those right now. You're actually going to go back to your Employees tab, and you're going to view the documentation to support that competency that they're asking for approval for. So you're going to hit your Employees tab and select the employee that requested it, and you're going to select their learning history. Once you select their learning history, you can go ahead and select that title on the achievement documentation. When you do that, you'll see file attachments. Those file attachments are what's going to show you whether or not they are properly supporting what it is that they're asking for as far as competency completion. So you're going to click the file attachments. It's going to open up, and you're going to view the attachment, make sure that it matches what the employee is asking for, and if it does, you're going to go ahead and X out and go back to your Employees tab. Go back to your Employees tab and look for the competency again. You're going to choose Approve and then Next. When the comments blocks come up, you don't really have to say anything in here on the approval. I'm going to hit Next, and then you're going to have to use your user ID and PIN just like it is when you're recording your own documentation. So you can enter the user ID and PIN, select Confirm, and then you will see the success screen come up. If you have others to do, you'll go ahead and start over and do that. That same process is in place for denials. If you have to deny an employee, you'll go through the exact same process, but on the comments block, you will say that there is, you'll state to the employee what it is that you felt was wrong with the submission, and then do the same thing and basically send it back to them. When you get back to the radio buttons, you're going to hit deny, and it'll go back in the queue for them. So that is the approval and denial of certification requirements in LMS for the supervisor. In addition to reviewing the documentation for courses that are taken online or courses that are non-academic courses, supervisors also must review academic courses that employees are using to satisfy competency requirements. So it'll be the exact same way to start off that you did with the non-academic courses, going to the home screen, selecting that My Employees tab. When we get to My Employees tab, select the employee and then select the learning history for the academic courses. When the learning history comes up, you have all these courses that have been completed show up in learning history. You're going to search for the academic courses by typing in academic in the search bar, and when the course comes up that you want to review, you'll go ahead and click on the achievement documentation link, and like you did with the non-academic, when it comes up, the details come up, you'll see the file attachments. You'll open the file attachments and ensure that the file attachment matches the requirement, the competency requirement that the employee is asking for. Once you do that, you go ahead and close the window, X out. The final and probably most important thing that the supervisor will do will actually be to approve a request for FM certification. So again, from the LMS home screen, you'll go to the pending approvals requests link, and when you get there, you'll see the username and that they're requesting level 1 certification. You'll go ahead and select the My Employees tab to verify proof of everything by selecting curricula, and you're going to confirm that all requirements for the certification have been complete. You should have green check marks by everything to include the training, the specific training for their level. And once you do that, you're going to go ahead and X out. Go back to the home screen and choose from that pending approvals link. You're going to go ahead back to the employee's name and go ahead and hit approve. Once you choose the approval, the comments box comes up. Again, you don't have to put anything in there if you don't want to, and the requirement for the e-signature is going to come up with the user ID and the PIN. Select confirm, and then you'll go ahead and see the success screen. And much like on the other one, if there was something that you denied, you would go through the same process, hit denial, go back to the employee, they'll make the changes and send it back to you for approval again. That pretty much concludes the supervisor portion of the FM certification process in LMS. We hope that this training has been informative for you and that it's answered any questions and made it easier for you to go ahead and submit and get your FM certification requirements complete. Thank you.